I am so excited that Fani Willis, I get a chance to see Fani Willis in action. I am going to be talking about her all day long. She brings the receipts, as they like to call it. She brings the proof. She brings intelligence, class, fairness. Yes, I am a definite fan. And all that stuff they tried to do to her some 4 years back when she was on that orange clown's tail. He have caused people to die. He has caused people. Now he doing it again. Now they elected him to do it again. What is wrong with these people? If we don't do something quick, I mean, I know the Great Spirit is definitely going to do something because this is ridiculous. It's getting to the point that the crazies are getting crazier. Uh, that's okay. I'm gonna look at my thread. And what is this I keep hearing about Trump yelling? Now, I heard somebody say Trump is yelling. I didn't hear him yell. Yelling to me, this is yelling. I did not hear that. But to them, whatever he do is newsworthy. He can spit on the ground. Oh, he spit on the ground. Come on, get a life. But let's hear what this. Let's see what they're talking about.
Country is back, stronger than ever before.
His team have been telling him to talk about the economy, to show that he's got or
Maybe he
getting
was yelling.
a handle on it. Had he come out and in a sort of off-script, natural way, with empathy, said, look, I get it. It's taking time for you to feel my economic success. If he'd said that with meaning, then I think this would have landed in a more sympathetic way. Instead, reading off a script, unusual, he came across as a kind of angry, frustrated president and extremely defensive as well. For a man who can deliver a message and who can perform, it was uncharacteristically bad. And here's the worry for Team Trump. So often out and about with voters, I hear people say, look, I don't really like his style, don't like his language, his divisiveness, but he's a businessman. He knows how to run the country and he knows how to run the economy. If he loses those people, then he's in real trouble. And one last thought, there are obviously observers who think he's kind of unhinged, losing his marbles. I do think that the slightly strange tone of this speech will be evidence for them of that. I think this was a fascinating speech.
Let's hear it from the beginning.
He announced because there really wasn't anything in there. It was interesting because of his tone. The speech was a sort of greatest hits, his framing of the past year, but the tone was angry. It was frustrated. The vibe was kind of like, why are my polling numbers not better? Why is the economy not doing better? Why are you, the voters, not feeling better off? That seemed to be the subtext. And remember, it is his low polling, rising unemployment, the cost of living and inflation challenges, which prompted this address in the first place.
We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation has stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected. And our country is back, stronger than ever before.
His team have been telling him to talk
He
about
forgot
the
to say
economy,
it's hot.
to show that he's got or getting.
Okay. Okay. Only the cult members would believe that. Okay. I go in the grocery store, save a lot. Come out with 2 half full bags, $60. I can't even buy half of the stuff I used to buy. A pack of turkey wings, $12. It was just $6 and something. Gas. elect. Okay, like I said, only his cult members believe that, would believe their lying eyes. Shame. And I blame it all on the education system because you think your school is bad. You ought to see those schools down in rural areas. All they teach them is how to be racist.
Better tell them what they want to hear.
You all want to intimidate people from doing the right thing, and you think that you're going to intimidate me. You all have been trying to intimidate me for 5 years, which is why I have not been able to live in my house for 5 years, because the N word has been written on my house. Thousands of threats have come to my office, and instead of doing some legislation, when someone when someone says something inflammatory that you know is going to cause them to be the victims of crime, you ought to do something about it. But you see, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I ain't gonna quit in a month because somebody threatened me. I took an oath to do the right thing. People came into my community and committed a crime, and I indicted them. And rest assured, if someone else comes in my community and commits a crime, I will indict them again.
And basically, it was just a waste of time. And that's not hyperbole. You guys were there. You learned nothing. Nothing that the state of Georgia could do could correct any of this. This is a Fulton County issue, and Whitney wasn't even that much of an issue.
We had a 3-hour testimony. I think about my friends who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars defending themselves against these politically motivated charges, and that's the witch hunt. And we were today trying to get to the bottom of the witch hunt that went on against the president and the other Georgians and people from out of state that had to endure this prosecution over the course of a couple of years before she was removed for the appearance of impropriety.
Political motivated. See, that's why politicians can get away with stuff, because if you go against them, you have idiots out here would think that, oh, they're not, forget the crime. They just going after him because they don't like him. Forget the crime. This is the law and order country that we live in. We are now living in the 21st century. We are now living in the United States of chaos. It's not the United States no more. It's the United States of chaos. Violence is the background. Purge is the house that we live in. Now, this really hurt this hurts anybody who has a moral compass, who has empathy and sympathy and live for better days. When I heard what this orange buffoon in the White House did, I felt sick. When he put those plaques up of those presidents and then said those and put in writing these awful words about these two presidents, President Obama and President Biden, I thought that was so beneath anybody that was born from a womb. Was he born? Did they get him from Area 51? I don't know. Oh, they was talking about it, and I wish they was just talk about something else, about putting these plaques up, and then putting his Truth Social post up under them. They spent tax money that could have been used to feed children to make a plaque to put in a Truth Social about a president that they don't like, just for it to sit there. He's not going to look at it. Just for somebody to have something to say. Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. You know what? They they would have hurt him even worse if they wouldn't have even talked about it. Let their stupid asses talk about it. Why we have to listen to the dumbass shit?
You all want to intimidate people from doing the right thing, and you think that you're going to intimidate me. You all have been trying to intimidate me for 5 years, which is why I have not been able to live in my house for 5 years, because the N word has been written on my house. Thousands of threats have come to my office, and instead of doing some legislation, when someone when someone says something inflammatory that you know is going to cause them to be the victims of crime, you ought to do something about it. But you see, I'm not Marjorie Taylor Greene. I ain't gonna quit in a month because somebody threatens me. I took an oath to do the right thing. People came into my community and committed a crime, and I indicted them. And rest assured, if someone else comes in my community and commits a crime, I will indict them again.
We heard him on the phone. Can you find
You all
1,700?
want to intimidate people from
Can you
doing the right
find
thing.
1,700 votes or how many ever it was? We heard it. That he called a perfect phone call. Well, whoever ever heard of a perfect phone call? Who has ever had a perfect phone call? Who even thinks of a phone call as being perfect? But that's what his base. You hear white people already saying, "Oh, that was perfect. Oh, perfect. Oh my goodness gracious." The same man that says, "Oh, I'm going to cut drug prices by 200%," and we have to listen to this stupid ass shit. And these schools, if they get any worse, you're going to hear these students talking about, "Give me 200% off." Ah,
January 24th of 2022. Does that seem like it's within the range of being the correct
So I already stated I don't trust you. I understand you're trying to run for lieutenant governor right now. Anything you want me to testify to, I'm gonna need to see.
Okay. Were you aware that in between the time of the special grand jury being sworn in and receiving evidence, Mr. Wade traveled to Athens, Georgia to meet with officials from the White House counsel's office?
I don't recall.
On the right-hand side here is the meeting that I reference. Highlighted section reads, travel to Athens, conf with White
How
House.
does this assist you in developing laws for Georgia? Because I believe the purpose that I'm here for is because you all need assistance in doing your job, and you want assistance with rules and regulations around how people should be a prosecutor. And it made sense to me that you'd come to the best prosecutor in the state to ask for some advice. But I'm confused as to how this assists you and what the purpose of me being here is.
The committee has a broad purpose. I'd be happy to refer to council as
broad.
the purpose of the committee. But my question for you is, as it relates
I don't
to
think
this
it's
travel,
relevant, so I'm objecting on relevance.
No, these people, they, you know what? This is all they got.
it's your testimony today that the travel to Athens conference with the White House
They
counsel,
still
as far
talking
as
about
you're aware,
that.
was due to it. Is it true that part of your transition team was involved in the process of interviewing people before you entered office to lead the investigation to the 2020 presidential election?
What you ask is a factual impossibility. That's what we call a lie. I had no way of knowing that these criminals were going to commit a crime. I didn't wait till the day I took office to look for talent that would represent my office for a case that didn't exist. It's a dumbass question.
It's a dumbass question.
Because it occurred after.
I didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office.
What was the total cost of the election interference case?
I don't know.
See, I'm glad she realized that these people, they come up with talking points, and they come up with these little tidbits that they could play on their right wing podcasts and propaganda news. Say they're going to go back and they're going to play this dumbass question, okay? They're not gonna play her answer, but they're gonna let them come to their conclusion, their only conclusion. She's a black woman. Oh, she's guilty. Thank you, Fani Willis. Thank you, and thank you, all you idiots out there, for helping us see our girl on the stage, schooling y'all, teaching y'all how it's done in your face. Okay, let's hear that again.
I didn't know that he was going to commit a crime prior to me taking office.
Let's hear that again.
Cost of the election interference case.
I don't know the exact cost. I don't want to speculate to know.
But we all knew he was going to commit a crime. Criminals commit crimes.
Of thousands of Georgians. It couldn't have been enough.
Has Mr. Wade ever prosecuted a RICO case prior to the election interference case?
And Mr. Wade would be the first one in the office. He corrected their behavior. He taught them how to do this case. He was a leader to that team and a public servant. And for that, him like me has been threatened. If you want something to investigate as a legislature, investigate how many times they called me the N-word. Why don't you investigate that? Why don't you investigate them writing on my house? Why don't you investigate the fact that my house has been swatted? What have you done, sir? Nothing.
Is it true that part of your transition team was involved in the process of interviewing people before you entered office to lead the investigation to the 2020 presidential election?
What you ask is a factual impossibility. That's what we call a lie. I had no way of knowing that these criminals were going to commit a crime. I didn't wait till the day I took office to look for talent that would represent my office for a case that didn't exist. It's a dumbass question.
I know it is, but go ahead and tell it because it occurred after.
I didn't know that he was going to commit a crime.
Oh, we did.
To me taking him.
We knew it. We knew he was going to commit a crime. He committed a crime from day one. And it's so strange that they is doing this when almost 20 people that work with him have been convicted of a crime. How do you surround yourself with criminals like that and you're not a criminal? I don't have any criminal friends. Okay? Now, when I was a criminal back in the 80s, all my friends was criminals. Okay? What? Are we tired? Are we tired of these idiots running the country in the ground? Thank you, Fani. Well, thank you, Fani. Thank you. You know, I'm sorry that you had to go through that dumbass shit. You know, that was your business. Even though it was in the ethic books or whatever, you know what? It is what it is. They all fucking each other. But I'm telling you, it's a doggone shame. Something got to end. I'm just excited. I'm just excited. Bonnie's back. I mean, she's always been there. She's in Atlanta though, but that's our girl. That's our girl. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Everybody have a good day.